All right, everybody. Scott Pearson, Yigong here at Listings to Leads. This is a lender call. So if you're a lender, welcome to the call. Or if you're watching the recording, good to see you. Yi, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
Good. Hey, can we show your calculators that you were working on? Or is that not something you want to share?
Uh,
No, we can't really give them out at this point, but
yeah,
yeah. All right. That's fine. Yeah, if you are on this call as a lender, go ahead and type in who you are, where you're from, maybe who you're with, so we just know who we're talking to. Good to introduce yourself to us. Let us know if you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, or StreamYard. Looks like people are all over the place, so good to see everybody. Probably keep
I
this a
don't
little bit short today, but here's what I wanted to do. Craig came into the mastermind group and got his third closing from Listings to Leads. And I think he spent between like about $2,000
thousand.
or so.
Okay.
I hit him up on text or somewhere. We were talking about it a little bit, and yeah, he's like 18-1 ROI, and he's got a few more, like 2 or 3 more out looking that are pre-approved. Got 3 closings, like 10 to 18 RX ROI, which is absolutely awesome. Yeah, so that's in the mastermind group, and you're going to see down here. I made a comment that sounds like a super high ROI. And I'm actually thinking about bumping up because I've always talked about doing like $500 a month in Facebook ads. I'm
Yeah.
like, you know what? No, there's a ROI. So, and with the AI text, I'm going to share some of the AI text conversations today as well. If we know there's a strong ROI, why not just
Put some
up
money
it?
behind
Because
it.
here's the deal.
Yeah.
Even if you spend 6,000 a month, I'm not recommending anybody do that, but I'm just saying if you spend 6,000 a month and you only got 1 deal a month from it, well, you're breaking even. And I can promise you, you would have to, I don't know, I'm not sure what you'd have to do, but it would have to be pretty dramatic to be able to not get a deal. Like you'd literally have to like never call anybody back at all. You'd have to just ignore everybody because even at Craig's 500 a month, he's getting great ROI. And so it's like, why not just speed up the process? Why not just be so ubiquitous on social media that when people are on social media checking in with their friends and their family and all that kind of stuff, that they can't miss us. And oh yeah, I'm going to be bumping up Ye's spend on her stuff to about 1,000 a month. And to that point, check this out. So Yi, and you mentioned this to me this morning, and I wanted to wait till we got on this call.
Yeah.
So these are all the ads that Yi has run so far. It's not that, it's like 8 ads. And the one that we just ran, 558 a lead, that's really, really high. Not good at all. Now, we've had this issue with other clients where, you run an ad and it's coming in at a high cost per lead. Man, sometimes it is what it is. And so
Yeah.
what we've go ahead.
Yeah. I think there are two things. One, this ad has been going on for a little bit. So maybe it's time to shut it off and rerun. And two, we have this lead form that was added. So I'm not sure if that has some impact.
Yeah, I don't know, but regardless. So yeah, because
We
here,
add a lead form question. Do you want to receive a ultimate guide of buying a home?
yeah. And
And
you
I
know
feel
what?
like maybe we should not have that option.
Yeah,
So
because we're now actually asking that a similar question in the
yeah, in the
AI text
text follow-up.
follow-up,
Yeah.
and that's actually getting really good response there as well. So regardless though, when you have an ad, and it could be any kind of an ad, down payment assistance, ever, usually, and what I've done in the past is I'll just literally turn it off. All right. Because it's not, it was actually performing okay. And then it started really creeping up there in the last few days.
Yeah, it was doing great. It was doing about $2.50.
You know what? You're right. Because this you can see here is for $200. So when we first ran it, it was for $100 for the week. And
Yeah.
it was coming in like $2 to $3 a lead. And then you're right. It went from that to like like from $2 to $3 up to 6. So I'm just going to turn it off and I'm going to come back here to Facebook and we're just going to redo the ad. So it's a great property. And I know didn't you have another listing from an agent that can you send me a link? Can you send me the Zillow link
Yes.
or just give me the address? I'll find it.
Okay.
But for this one, let's just go ahead and redo this one. So I'm just going to go, what I did is from the ads page, and I could have done this from listings, create Facebook ad, create listing ad. It's
Why
the
you do?
listing. And let me do this first. And then I want you to share with everybody how you got the permission to market this listing. But before we do that, so it's going to be a lead ad. So we'll get name, email, phone number for the lead. And then they're going to be sent to the AI text follow-up. And I'm going to share some of the AI text follow-up bounces. Lead destination, I can send the leads to the agent or to the lender. So we're going to send it to the lender. Now, we talked about this in a previous webinar where E has added herself as an agent to her own lender account, and she'll share with you the specifics, but she's calling agents with listings that she feels would be a good ad to run to get loan leads. But she's also sent over a few buyer leads that were ready to start talking to an agent. So she is literally sending agents buyer leads without ever giving them an account in listings to leads. Like, why bother giving an agent an account at this point? Maybe later down the road when they have a relationship. But Ye's calling up agents, getting permission to market those listings. So instead of adding that agent to her account, she's just running them under her name. Now she's got listing courtesy, of course, but back to this here. So autofill location, the budget,
Yes.
since we're going to do another ad, I'm just going to do, no, we want to do, I'm going to do $100.
You want me to post that link?
Yeah.
Was in the
Yeah. You can do it in the
as a
private
comment?
chat. Yeah. You can do it in the private chat. If you see in the
Oh yeah, yeah,
far,
yeah.
far right, you'll see the icon. Yeah. So $100 for 1 week. Right. The image looks good. We got the listing agent, Curtis, the listing agent information right there as everybody can see. And just hit create ad. That's it. Don't have to overthink it. Super easy. We already got the template looks great. So there's no, and like you said, this was an ad that was performing really well. We at like $2 to $3 a lead. We reran it and then it just went a little bit crazy with the cost per lead. So stop that ad. Like you see here, we just stopped it. And now we're going to rerun it. And if any of you want to check back in with me tomorrow or the next day and ask me how we're doing on the cost per lead, feel free to just get to the Facebook mastermind group or DM me. But let's walk through and see. So we got the Redfin link. So why don't you talk a little bit about how you called the agent and that conversation about getting permission to market this listing, and why did you pick this listing to begin with?
Okay. I think picking the right listing is always a challenge. Okay, I have to admit that. And I picked this one. I picked several. Like I picked 4 listings and I called each one of them. I did not get hold of the other 3. So this is the one that I had a conversation with the realtor. But I'll keep finding listings and call. My goal is to get 3 listings marketed this week. I want to find an entry level listing, which is because I want to focus on zero downs, conventional 3% or FHA. So that was doing the research, find specifically those type of listings. So and
Mm,
okay, that's one. And 2 is move up market where people have had a home, they want to move up to the little bit upper middle listing.
yeah.
So that's another pricing level. And then it was lower luxury. So that's the 3 levels I look. I picked this one. One, the photos look good. And
Yeah.
2,
That's important. It's got good
yeah,
curb appeal.
yeah, I found there are a lot of listings just empty, don't look good, and it's not gonna attract buyers.
Yeah.
And this one's been sitting on the market for a long time. I was like, "Why? It looks fabulous."
I think if
So
I was the agent, I might have had them take that deer head out of the living room. I don't know. I think if I'm gonna sell my home,
yeah, the outside, I said,
I
"That's a."
don't have a problem with it personally. I don't care. I just don't care. But I know a
Yeah,
lot of people are gonna see that and go, I just don't like the energy in this home with the
mm,
deer in there." So
that's a good point.
yeah, in the photos that we use in the Facebook ad, let's
Don't
make
use
sure I
that. Yeah,
include.
that's a good point, so don't use
Look at
that.
that.
So you
It's
find the
staring at me.
listing.
Holy shit.
You
Look at
here's what
this.
you call.
Oh my God.
don't get nervous talking to a realtor. Okay, you are doing them a favor. You are getting them the exposure they otherwise wouldn't have. So you pick up the phone, you say, "Hey, my name is Yi. I'm with blah 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 lending. I'm a local lender. I'm calling you regarding this listing you have been on the market. Is that okay? I'll market this listing for you to my social media and my database." And they will be like, "Oh, cool." And then my second question, do you work with buyers as well? They're like, there's some of them will say no, which is fine because I have got buyer leads, and knowing that certain agents will not work with buyer leads, I send it to my other realtor agents. But you just want to have that conversation. And he's like, "Oh yeah, I work with buyers." I said, "Fantastic. When I qualify buyer leads, I'll send it your way." He's like, "Thank you." It just makes it like he'll remember you. He'll like, "Okay, this is fantastic." And that's all you need to say. And then you can move on to the next listing.
This is
So
a really cool area too, down in Gold River. Look at that, right near the American River, which,
this is a
coming
great
out from the Sacramento
location.
area.
Yeah, the fact that obviously I think it's a little might be a little bit overpriced, but it doesn't matter. I think that's a great listing. It just was not market well.
Yeah, and I can see these are agent photos, so they didn't have professional photos, which is fine. They're not bad photos, but to Yi's point, if you're gonna call up an agent to spend your time, to spend your money, you wanna make sure it's gonna be a good listing, both in the price point, in the market,
Good
the photos,
thing for
right?
location
Yeah.
and great photos. I don't want empty homes because
Yeah,
they don't show well. The buyer
right.
is just not as interested. If you're gonna put money behind the listing, you're gonna market, find a listing that's just really meat of the market, has great photos, great curb appeal. That's really the key.
Yeah, and it looks like
It
it's
would
like
be awesome. It's been on the market for some time. Sometimes you just don't get everything. Just pick your battles.
yeah. Yeah, cute. Is it in a cul-de-sac?
Yeah, it's a really cute. I'm just like shocked that it's still
I wonder which house is it maybe it's this house
maybe it's
over
on that
here.
one here. Yeah.
Oh, so it's the end of a cul-de-sac. Okay, that's nice. And then this isn't key, but you can see here, it looks like it's literally,
It's very
uh,
quiet.
am I going the wrong maybe I'm going the wrong way, but it looks like it's super close. Yeah, I'm probably going the wrong way, but it's super close to the American River, which is a beautiful river. I mean, it's nice, easy flow in that area. If they got kids, if they're super young, they're not going to be able to get over there. If they got kids that are 10, 11, 12 years old, with proper water safety, having the river close by and just that park. Look at this right here. This park, Sunrise Recreation Area, so close.
Yeah.
And
It's a great location. It's a great
yeah,
listing.
yeah,
And I was able to get it. Also, when you look at listings, very important. There are certain listings that were just like literally on like a major road.
yeah,
Avoid all these because you're just not gonna get much like you know what I'm saying, buyer interest.
yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
not like I wanna sell this, it's just you wanna get a bigger pool, like, "Oh, this looks good."
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's all that Craig does. Craig is doing the exact same thing where all he is doing is calling up real estate agents, asking if he can market their listing. And so let's see if we can grab this listing. So 95670 is a zip code that we're going to enter, and I'm going to copy and paste in the MLS ID number. And if we can't grab it, then what will happen is we can ask support to do it. Oh, 1 second here. Let me see. Our ad listing. Oh, there we go. Grab, select agent. We're going to put under your name and MLS ID. And then I've already forgot the zip code, but the zip code is, I think, 95670, 95670, 95670. Grab. And all right. And this is important for all of you. If the listing is available for auto grabbing, then it will just auto populate into your account. This is not. So right here, request our support team to add it within your account. Add the listing. All right. And I've already got the MLS ID number right there. the property address. I'm just going to put that in there. What they're going to do is they're just going to go and
Copy.
grab it.
Mm.
And where does it say? There we go.
So
Grab
why
this.
it's just not in our the sub feed?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly
it
right.
happens.
Yeah, it's fine. So is it open house or just active? Probably
It's
active.
active.
Yep. This is a borrowed listing and agent name. You know what we should do is we should just put in the ability for just drop in the link, but that's fine. So agent name, because what they're going to do is they're going to go find it, pull in all the information, and make it available for you. So drop in the agent's name and Windermere. Actually, you just did a video for another Windermere agent
Yeah.
on TikTok that got over 1,000 views.
I think I'm gonna really milk that office.
Yeah. Oh, in fact, I'll tell you what, that's another thing is we've been going out and doing YouTube videos. And in fact, let me see if I can bring it up real quickly here. Hold on a second. Because in the very
Can we
beginning,
focus
when you're
on this
doing
first,
this,
and we can bring the
pardon me?
let's get this listing up first, and then you can show the video.
Yeah, I won't be able to get the list because it's going to take a little bit
Oh,
for them to go
okay,
find it and
okay.
grab it. But you did, yeah, this one's like 15. Yeah. So we're just doing videos. I'm doing like, it's like 3 or 4 video clips. And then on TikTok, it's so easy. Upload the clips, stitch them together real quickly. And to be able to go back to the agent and let them know, look at 66 likes, 17 comments, 3 shares, or 3 saves. And again, over like 1,400 views. And maybe in the very beginning, when you're just starting out, you don't have a lot of views, but over time, to then go back to that agent and say, hey, look, I got you 1,400 views on your property. Could I do another one? Or send me, I'd love to be on your short list for loan opportunity buyers, maybe where your current preferred lender isn't able to perform for whatever reason. I'd love to be the backup in the beginning and maybe move into that primary spot as your lender. But it all starts obviously with adding more value to that agent to begin with, right?
Yeah,
Offering offering them a listings to leads account or an account for anything really. Hey, if they want it, phenomenal. That can be a great value add for them. But a lot of times, in fact, in fact, I wanted to ask you, I don't want to say the name of the thing that you signed up for, but you just signed up for like this AI social media thing like 2 weeks ago, right? Did you even get that thing done yet? Like set up? And I'm asking this because what I'm saying here is true for so many different programs. You actually went and signed up
I
for it.
set it up. So here's a problem. It creates very generic post that will not really have any engagement.
Uh,
So that's what I'm stuck. I because
Well, it
I'm
took you, and I remember it took you hours and like a few days to even like get to the point where you could figure out what was going on with it.
yeah, because you gotta make sure all your social media is all connected, and if I had any issue, just all falling apart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're
I'm like,
more
"Well, I
tech
think
savvy than most
pretty tech
agents.
savvy." Yeah,
Yeah. And
but
so And the only reason I say this is because when you're a lender, sometimes you're thinking, oh, I'm going to offer a free listings to leads account to these agents, and that's going to be my value add. When, you
yeah,
know,
your value add is when you send them a buyer lead, when you send them a seller lead,
right,
and all of a sudden you are at a complete different level
correct.
compared to the other lenders. Okay, so give you an example. One of these I do cold calls, right? After the leads come in, and I'm working on another buyer who literally sent me a text message while he was in Vegas because I was trying to call him. That was because I haven't got hold of him personally, just being on the text. He's like, I'm in Oakland. I'm in the Oakland A's game. Okay, I'll call you later. For him to even send me a text while in Vegas at an Oakland A's game, I'm like, this guy is good. Like, I don't need to worry about he like losing this guy. Like,
Yeah,
he came in through an ad. He is looking to buy because they always have they all for any people who have a property wanna sell, they always looking to buy first. and then he has a property to sell. I have one lead. I'm gonna get to my realtor partner for
Yeah.
as a buyer and as a seller. Imagine your value. Just
Oh
think
yeah.
about for a second. Like, just think about that for a second. How many local lenders can do what you do?
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
absolutely massive. The idea of turning over a buyer lead that's going to be a potential buyer and seller
Yeah.
where they're going to get a listing is ridiculous. And that's your one of your actual agent partners. But imagine if it, which is phenomenal. But imagine if that was like, for example, the guy who you did the video with or did the video for over the weekend from another Windermere office. And imagine if you end up, if you like, for example, all right, so let me back up a little bit. So we go to the open house. Why don't you talk through how you introduce yourself? Because what I want to do is I want to kind of walk through the almost like a pipeline of relationship building with agents that don't know you that you might want to get in front of. Because this agent, good agent's got different listings, a super cool dude. So why don't you walk through the how we pick open houses to go through, how you introduce yourself, and then I'll talk a little bit after that of the kind of like the steps of going from that to working with them at a higher level.
So pick a good time of an open house. And I think what I learned is don't do it during the middle when they are super busy. It's more difficult to have any relationship or conversation, right? Go towards the end where they're winding down, and you have a little bit time with them. So this particular one, I think I have about 10 minutes left towards the end of their open house. I go in there and the first thing I say, hey, my name is Yi Gong. I'm a local lender from where, whatever. And I just want to see if I can do a quick video to show off your listing to my buyers. And, and he's like, oh, their immediate reactions, go for it. That's most their enthusiasm. It's like, yeah, go for it. Because in this market, every small listing agent knows they want to get as much exposure as possible, right? But you also want to tell them you are a lender. You are not some real estate agent want to compete their business.
Yeah.
So that's very important. So the first thing you want to get out of the door, let them know is I'm a local lender. And then just tell them why you're there for. So then making sure you have a card with you. Say, when I'm done, I'll send you a copy or a link to the video I create for you.
Yeah. And so,
That's
yeah,
really, yeah.
so yeah, we did the video, got it up on TikTok, and then we sent him a link, and he was like, amazing. He was like, wow, thank you so much. That's amazing.
So,
And
and
yeah,
here's another piece of advice for those people that you had a relationship, like a preliminary relationship, for example, in this realtor situation, always constantly monitor if they have new listings coming on the market. Like, just be aware because these are the type of people you want to continue to build on relationships, right? Next time they have a listing, go to them, say, hey, Clip, I see you have a listing. Would you mind if I market for you? Right? That would be an easier conversation. And then you can start generate some buyer leads or listing leads. You just never know. So that relationship just builds on over time.
yeah, and I think that is so important because in a world where a lot of agents are maybe not having their best year ever, not having the best month ever, when and you got and lenders are in the same boat, maybe. And for again, for you to go to an agent and say, "Oh, hey, I've got this free program." It could be whatever. It could be YLOPO. It could be Follow Boss. It could be listing leads. Does an agent really need more programs that they need to learn? Oh, in a perfect world, yeah, that'd be phenomenal, and it would help them grow their business. They're not looking, right? They're not looking for more work. They're looking for more results. And so the quicker you can get them results, then they're
The
gonna
better
absolutely
for
love
the
you.
better. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So here real quickly though. So we we are strategic about the open houses we go to. Then we go to the open house, like you said, introduce yourself as a lender. Could I do a video to share with my audience on social media into my database. We had one agent say no. We had one agent say, my seller doesn't want this property on social media at all. No harm, no foul, whatever. But this agent in particular, most of them are very positive about it. And this
Yeah.
agent was very positive. And so we, again, got his card, sent him the link to the video afterwards. And now, if he would have ignored that text, then never drop it. But he wasn't. He was so positive about it. And so I think what that does is it gives you the ability to go back to him later. Maybe, like, for example, maybe this coming week or even now, right? I don't know if this is one of the listings that you might be
These
calling
were
on.
type of realtors when you show them the results what you have done for other realtors, they will be jumped to the first opportunity to work with you.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is you might even call him back this week or next week if it hasn't gone into
So
contract.
then I might just market that listing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, you might
Yeah.
just say, "Hey,
Hey,
this is
why
Yi
not?
again, and would you mind if I actually did some more marketing in an ad for your property because it hasn't gone into contract yet? There's a great property, it showed really well, has a pool in the backyard, and that's one of the things I like. And the listing I saw that you selected to run an ad for here that we're going to have support add to your account didn't have a pool, which I thought you were doing more with pools, but regardless." So then again, select the open house, do a video, post the video. The agent responds back positively. We thank the agent for letting us do the video. Okay. So all good so far. And then, like we just said, the property hasn't gone into contract after a few more days or a week later. Then what we'll do is, or what you will do is call the agent back. Can I run an ad for that listing? I'm sure he'll say yes. And then imagine you get a couple of leads because now you're going to be spending like $100 a week on an ad for him or for that listing. And if we get a couple of leads coming in, and here's this. So for example, this AI text, this is what you're seeing on the screen is from our AI text. And what I like about it is this actually initially came through like a month prior, I think. Let me go back. And yeah, oh my God, even worse. So this lead was generated May 25th. And it was not until July, like 2 months later, July 30th, that they responded. So 2 months, 2 months. And the first response is no. Look at that. My team, yada, yada, no. All right. We offered some off market coming soon, just as a property list. And boom. Okay. And then the AI text says, sounds great. What general location are you interested? It gave locations. Thank you for sharing price range, another location, price range, downsizing, how soon are you looking to make a move, a year. Never worry about time frame. What you'll find about time frame is as soon as the further along they get in this process, the more those time frames can compress because when they realize, hey, this is a buyer's market right now. And we don't know if they own a home yet. And that might be one of the things that we can add. At this point, the agent's going to follow up with this. So
Right.
the agent will follow up. Do they own a home or not? And engage with them. But what we're finding is on the leads, when they realize that when they talk to somebody and they realize it's a buyer's market, that they can get a rate buy down, that they might be able to get closing cost credit, bring that mortgage payment down. Because maybe they're in like a 2.5%, 3% loan. And so it's the loan part that's really scaring them. Well, if we can get you a 2-1 buy down versus you waiting for a 0.25% rate cut, they may realize, oh, yeah, maybe moving sooner than later would be a great idea. But I just want to share with you, the AI text is doing phenomenal. It is not a replacement for you following up with people. You got to be following up with your phone calls, and he is doing that as well. But I think it's going to be phenomenal. And that guy, we both talked about it after we left that open house. He would definitely, I think, be the kind of agent that you would want to partner with. Right? Super
Just
cool
all these
personality.
things that, okay, as a lender, I know the frustration, right? And all these things that we're talking about here, it has two goals. One, you are actually taking control of your own destiny, right? Because you're creating a huge pipeline and it's just a numbers game. Like 100 conversations, you're going to close one deal, right? Okay. But how do you create that pipeline is to put money behind listings. And
Right.
number two, instead of chasing after the realtors, you actually having them chase after you.
Over
So
time,
you were in a
especially, yeah.
position.
Yeah, Yakov. So Yakov's asking, how can I send them that info that I'm a lender to? No. So can you just answer that about how you introduce yourself in the open
I was
house?
gonna send them info that I'm a lender too. I'm doing both the real estate and mortgages. Okay. Oh, okay. So you are dual licensed. Okay,
You
nice.
can answer. Yeah, but let
Yeah,
me,
can you?
Yakov, I would just do the exact same thing he is doing. And
Okay.
because when you generate a lead, the lead will be tagged with the listing agent. So for example, Yakov, so, and I know you're in New York, so maybe it's a little bit different. So do you guys do open houses there? I'm not sure if you do open houses, but regardless, either go to an open house, follow the playbook we mentioned, or like the listing that we just requested support to add for us, you just called up the agent. And so, Jakob, what I would do is I might just say, hey, I see you got a listing over here. It's been on the market for 23 days or 44 days. And I would love to run an ad for that to my audience on social media and send it out to my database. I'm sorry. And then mention that you're a lender and play your lender role, have your lender hat on. And as you're generating those leads, as you get a lead that's a buyer lead, could you borrow the listing like an agent does and market it and keep those leads for you? So if you could, but if you're trying to establish yourself and establish more relationships with other agents, then I would just make sure as you are calling and or qualifying these leads that you send them to those agents. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you have to like send them some business.
Yeah. Now, if you want to wear your real estate agent hat and call the agent and just say, hey, I'm a real estate agent over here. I see you got a great listing. It's been on for a few days, few weeks, a few months. Could I market it for you and get you some more exposure? And they say, yeah, well, then sure, great. Add it to your account. You'd still add it where it's not your listing in both scenarios because we want to make sure we got the listing agent courtesy of information there. And in that model, then you can keep those leads for yourself. But again, I think what you're trying to do here from the framing of the question is, as a lender, how can I do this? So I think that you're a real estate agent. I just would not even, I wouldn't lie and say I'm not an agent, but I wouldn't bring it up either when I'm talking because you've got your lender hat on, if that makes sense. Yeah, does that make sense? Does that sound about
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you
And
want
if
to
they are
focus on
having an
one
open
thing.
house, and again, it's Saturday morning, it's Friday, Yi is looking online. She's seeing what's up for this weekend. And as she said earlier, what properties would be a great fit for FHA, VA, maybe USDA? Good location, so not on a busy road. Shows, so it's not an empty house. It's got good photos because again, we're going to spend money in properties with bad photos typically don't do as well on Facebook for
Yeah.
obvious reasons. So yeah. Yeah, Cobb, does that answer your question? Hopefully, Will, how you doing, Will? Any questions from you? Because I know you sent me a couple of questions over the week, but earlier in this week. So, Will, I'd love to discuss any of that items as well.
This week, I do want to test some custom landing pages and see how they run. One of them is, I'll let you guys know, but one of them is like VA loans. And the last time I ran it, I think the message was just not, I don't know what it is. Okay. Like, how do you honing that message on a custom landing page is really key, right? Like, what is your call to action? So I'm going to work on this and let you guys know how it turns out. It's going to be a little bit more expensive, obviously, for these custom landing page ads, but you also get more focused leads. That's what we want. And even it's 15, $20 a lead, I think it's still worth the money because they will be higher conversion for sure.
And I think also we should add in the autoresponder and I think we're already going to be doing it in the AI text. We're adding this to it, but maybe
Yeah.
in the autoresponders that we add information about VA and home loan or VA, maybe FHA. So
Hmm.
I'm going through right now and I'm changing out some of the seller follow up to where like the first, I can't remember exactly, but we're making some offers. God, what is that first one? I can't even remember. Anyways,
Okay.
yeah. So Yeah, the problem is it's almost addicting when you're able to generate the leads at like $2 to $4 a lead, and you have enough of them coming in where pretty much every day you're having a conversation with somebody. Now, it was funny because last week I think you went for 2 days without being able to connect with anybody, and then the very next day you had a great conversation. And when you're only spending, that was at a run rate of about $500 a month. That is, now that I look at it, that is so low. There was another company I was telling you about, where they just came out with a Facebook ad offering, and it was $3,000 a month minimum. So if you wanted to work with them, you would have to spend $3,000 a month minimum on a Facebook ad budget. And I was like, wow, that's pretty damn. I don't know if we need to go to 3,000 because for a lot of people, they can't even, wouldn't even be able to
Oh,
handle that
yeah,
lead flow.
like $50.
Pardon me?
They can't even like do the $50 a week minimum budget.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I think but like I said earlier, to spend 2,000, even to spend 2,000 a month.
To get
Now again, I don't even
you
think
would do in a heartbeat, right?
yeah, but you couldn't even handle 2,000 a month now. At that point, you would need to have an ISA to
Yeah.
be doing the first qualification. So we got the AI text, then have an ISA, and then once the ISA actually connects with somebody, then you would be the next person. So that'll be a part of the evolution of this. But I think in the shorter term, we're going to bump you up to $1,000 a
Yeah.
week,
Part of the reason because
or
I also
$1,000 a
do
month.
I don't just do mortgage side, I also do listings leads as well. So I have a lot of hats I'm wearing. But let me know if you guys have any questions. Just put in the chat box. I'm curious to find out like what's the biggest concern, biggest obstacles you guys having on a day-to-day basis. Like what can we make your life easier?
Yep. And then as soon as I was hoping support might be able to get to this while we were on the call today. I should have, as the owner of the company, I could have actually gotten the support ahead of time, but regardless. But again, as soon as that listing drops in here, I'm just going to run an ad and I'm going to spend $100 for it. So that'll be $200 for a week. So you'll be at about an $800 run rate at that point. And then maybe I'll do 125. But yeah, if you're making even 5 to 6,000 bucks per loan, my thought is, and again, this would be when you've already got an ISA in place, then that's going to be more expense. But at that point, that's when, you know, yeah, of course it makes sense to spend 5,000 bucks a month on Facebook ads, because now I've got all my processes in place. I got an ISA, I got the AI text follow up. And, even with Craig, he's been at it since February. So February, March, April, May, June, July. And he's already had I know he's had more than 3 closings, but I think he just recently had 3 closings. He's got more in the pipeline that are out looking right now. So, again, his ROI is way above 10 to 18x. And so if it's that on that low of an ad spend, man, let's just bump it up, because even if it's only 5x on 5,000, that's still what is that? 25,000 a month you're making
Mhm.
on a 5,000 spend. Like, who wouldn't do that all day long?
They have to make money first for them to do it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, for a
Yeah.
lot of
So
people.
no,
Yeah,
okay. For
and that's
most,
kind of like almost like dollar cost averaging yourself into it.
yeah, just focus on the strategy we're talking about. Get proficient with running ads and know just go into our Facebook ad trainings, how to run ads if you have questions,
Yeah,
and then just grow into it.
yeah,
I'm not saying that you need to spend 5,000 right now. Just spend like 125 to 200 a week. That'll be really good. Because yeah, cold calling, it's not cold calling. Let me just rephrase it. Following up is a lot of work. Okay. And you have to do it. You have to do it every day. You have to do it diligently. So that's a lot
yeah.
of people.
You gotta get
A lot of
yourself
people drop the
disciplined
ball.
into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so Jakob, you said you're an agent. Make sure you get into the mastermind group, because just this agent here, as part of this was commented under another post. And she said, I use a provided letters from L to L. You can see here. that have led. So I just got a listing that turned into a referral. And look at that. So I guess that's like 2 listings from these letters. These are the nearby homeowner letter she's referring to. And so even if it's not your listing and you do an open, let's say you do an open house for a borrowed listing, or if you've got a listing, you could do this. And check this out. She goes, I send about 100 for every sale. I regularly, that means consistently, get listings from them, right? The nearby homeowner letter. Sometimes it's after a few letters. All right. This last one, it was 3 letters from 3 different listings that she did. And when she got to the listing appointment, sitting there right on the refrigerator. And I've heard this from people too. They use these letters and maybe they try it once and they don't get anything from it initially. But then a month or 2 later, they get the phone call for a listing appointment and they get the listing. And then it was like, holy crap, they didn't do anything with them since the first time they used them. So now they're at that standard, very typical, all too common real estate problem of that you do something for a little bit, you think it doesn't work because a lot of times you do something, it takes a little bit for it to kick in and, the pipeline to grow and things to happen. The Facebook ads are that way. Everything is that way. It's not overly common to where you do a letter or an ad. Now it does happen, but it's just not overly common to where the results happen within a couple of days or a week necessarily. While that can happen, it's more typical that it can take a little bit. And so again, that's how the experience of Craig, the experience of Yi, the experience of other people is you just got to do this stuff consistently, stay consistent with your follow-up, make sure you're making those phone calls because if you're not going to follow up with these leads, well, then there's no point of
Waste
spending.
money and your time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And for any lenders, let me just say it. You are in this for the long game. Okay. So it's not like you want one success or one lead, like one business, one transaction. You got excited. You want to build out this process and just continue on because that's where your long game is going to bring you all the success and revenue that you need, right? Because somebody might strike gold for one transaction. They're like, oh, then they stop doing it and might just completely fall apart.
It's
Right.
funny. It's perfect that you just said that because you're right. They strike gold. They stop doing it because they're so damn excited and they just,
They get
they're not getting
carried
results.
away. And then you don't ever get too excited about one transaction or anything, or don't get too discouraged by people never calling you back or answering the call. Because
Yeah.
just like this AI, the people could have ignored you for 2 months and then all of a sudden, like they were, hey, I'm actually interested in this price range. You don't know what they're going through. You don't know what the shit that they're going on in their lives, right? People are busy. So
Yeah.
it's okay if they're not responding. Don't get too emotionally attached to anything. You want to be almost dis, what is the word? Disenfranchised
Disconnected.
or disconnected by the result or disassociate with the result and just really just focus on the process.
Well, and that's why I like to share, I guess it's, yeah, right here. Because again, this lead came in on May 25th. It was 2 months. So yeah, your timeline and everybody else's timeline are not going to be the exact same. So just focus on running ads, focus on making sure you got good properties, focus on making sure, you got a good cost per lead, focus on your follow up and you just do it at a minimum. I'm going to tell you a minimum of $500 a week. If you can swing 500 bucks a month. And if you can swing $1,000 a month, even better, but just make sure that you got the follow-up in place. I would highly recommend either our AI text follow-up or another service. If you got it with maybe another CRM, have that in place so that when you're not able to follow up immediately, you got the AI text doing it for you. But you still have to make sure that you're carving out at minimum of 30 minutes, if not an hour or so, whatever it takes to go through those leads. Because again, if you're not going to call the leads, you can't rely on AI text for everything. And if you're not going to call those leads, then what's the point of it? Anyway, what are this? Something about like the work that everybody else doesn't want to do is the work that you need to do to get the results that everybody else wants but
Want,
won't get.
right?
Something like that.
It's very to the point.
Yeah, exactly.
Lead
So
cost effectively generating lead, and we've already known that the system does it very well. But the other part of 50% is really focusing on lead conversion, lead conversations, lead follow-ups. Because if you don't, the other half, the first half is still worthless,
yeah,
right? So you're wasting your time, your energy, and the money, resources, everything, and while you completely just dropped the ball on the second part. So first part 50 and second part 50, maybe I would say second part could be 55. Okay. So both work together hand in hand. So don't just ignore the second part because it's super, super important.
yep, exactly. All right, I
I
think
have
we're good to
and
go. Let
one
me
more
just
thing.
refresh, see if that listing came in yet. If not, I'm sure it'll
Okay.
be, yeah. All right, it'll be here in probably within the next hour. When it does come in, again, we're just gonna run an ad for it. We're gonna put some money behind it. The
And
AI
then
tech will,
piece of advice from
yeah,
what I've done and what I used to focus on looking at the lead form. Oh, 1 to 3 months. They buy in 1 to 3 months. Like, how am I gonna say in my head? And then people who just dreaming. And I realized that was stupid because it completely changes like how when I if somebody picks up the phone, the first thing I was thinking, like, oh, they're 1 to 3 months, so they're 6 to 9 months. Instead of worrying about their time frame to buy, I only look at their phone numbers and not even completely I just completely ignore their time frame to buy. You know why? Because you wanna have conversations and you wanna wait them for them to say about whatever their situation, because you wanna be a good listener versus the first
mm,
thing, "Oh, I know you're gonna buy in 1 to 3 months." That just took away their ability to wanna communicate with you, the information you wanna
100%.
hear. So
Yeah, that's
I've learned,
100%.
like, I don't wanna know their time frame. It's almost better for my conversation. And they will tell you, "Okay, yeah, I really just I'm changing the job. I'm not ready to buy yet." Okay, perfect. Then you can respond to their response.
Yeah. Yeah, active listening is good questions, and active listening will win over your preconceived idea of having a script.
Yeah. But when you try
Yeah,
to conceive and then the conversation becomes very awkward. Like you
yeah,
try to constantly think, "Oh, what am I gonna say? Oh, he has 1 to 3 months to buy." Like how I can squeeze into this narrative that you need to get pre-approved. Are you pre-approved? So now you're becoming very pushy and losing the whole concept. I just want to understand your situation, see if I can help.
yeah, yep, yep. All right, listen, if there's no other any comments, questions, feedback, complaints, anybody got something to say before we let everybody go to enjoy the rest of your day? Obviously, get with our support team if you need anything. Get to the mastermind group if we can be of any help there as well. And with that, we will talk to you later. Thank you, Yi, for joining us.
Oh yeah, sure.
All right, guys. All right. Thanks,
Wonderful.
everybody.
Oh, but thank you so much, guys. And questions, just reach out. You can reach out to me directly to support for any issues with connecting your Facebook accounts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, to Yi's point, the other AI auto posting thing for real estate that she signed up for, oh my God, it took days and hours. And as being as tech savvy as she is, it was a little disconcerting to watch her go through all that pain. Get with our support team, please. Just get with our support team if you need help with that. They will help walk you through it. They can hop on it's not a Zoom or Loom call, but they got some sort of video thing that they do. And they can help make sure that you're dialed in and good to go. I don't want you wasting a ton of time and pulling your hair out when we can walk you through it and help you a lot quicker. Great. Thank you, Yi. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thank you.